What's up, nerds? Welcome to Terminator Reviews. I'm Scott Burnett.
And I'm Devin Burke.
And today, we're giving you the full spoiler review of Terminator Genisys.
So if you haven't seen it,
click away!
Watch it.
Click away now! Spoiler alert!
Or if you just don't care about the movie, don't worry, neither did we.
We'll save you $12.50. So Dev, quick, what'd you think about the movie as a whole?
Holy fucking shit, dude! I didn't think
Well said.
I didn't think Terminator was possibly going to get any worse than Salvation or 3. But man, they did a bang-up job making this the worst one of the bunch.
Okay, I don't want to say it's the worst. It has its moments where it's good, and it has its moments where it's bad. The first act of this movie... Let's start in the beginning. I want to give you a nice, succinct version of the plot. You can't, because they just don't explain a huge part of the story.
Yeah, and also kind of the whole thing is a spoiler, so you can't talk about one part without the other.
Yeah. So the first act of this movie takes place after Judgment Day, John Connor, Kyle Reese, robot war. It's what Salvation should have been.
Laser guns,
laser guns.
So that was like, yes, laser guns, good.
You see the time displacement device that sends the Terminators back. They're on a mission to destroy it. I went into this movie, I saw that first act, and I was ecstatic. I was set. They sold me. I liken it to a roller coaster that looks real cool, and you get to the top of the hill,
it's like,
and then
and
then you're just back in the start of it. Like it just doesn't happen. It sets it up so well. And even when they go back to 1984, they send back an Arnold Terminator as like a last ditch effort when Skynet thinks it's gonna lose.
Yeah.
So then they send
which
back,
was the 1984 Arnold,
which is old school like pumping iron Arnold. And they go back, and they send Kyle Reese back, and then you see Matt Smith attack John Connor at the end.
Yeah, like just like giant like laser hand to his face.
Yeah,
so we don't know what it was, but then
and then they use that as a plot device to bring in an alternate timeline and stuff. So it's like I don't get why they did it. If they stayed either in the future or in 1984 and just left it, they kind of got off the rails.
Yeah, they totally did.
So then they go back in time, and they're in 1984, and this is where the movie pays homage to the first one, which is great.
Paid homage. They basically took all the footage and just got different people to say different lines.
Wash day tomorrow. Nothing clean, right?
Nothing clean. Right.
Hey, I think this guy's a couple cans short of a six-pack.
Your clothes. Give them to me. Now.
Yeah.
Of the same lines.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like, here's an Asian guy instead of this guy, and here's a couple of, like, older punks from the 80s saying the exact same lines.
Yeah, it was cool up until then, and then you see the alternate timeline come through where Emilia Clarke already knows about Terminators and stuff.
Okay. We're here to stop the end of the world.
I can work with that.
Well, she shouldn't, because it takes place when Terminator 1 happens, and this is the part I was talking about previously. Arnold got sent back to be her personal protector when she was 9.
2 Arnie's right now.
Yeah, and then they were like those files got deleted, or something.
They
never explained how her Arnold got there.
I think it's because of all this time travel stuff that were happening. Like they're in 1984, they're now back in the past. Then they're going into future 2017. Like,
fuck it. And if somebody saw it and gets how Arnold got there, please let us know. Because I think it was just a big plot hole, or they're setting up for sequels. And I hope not. Because please don't stop ruining stuff I love. And if you saw this, it wasn't crap, but it was semi-crap. It makes you appreciate Jurassic World a little more. But that's neither here nor there. So they go from 1984 to 2017. Yeah. Because Kyle Reese is, as a kid, leaves him a message in his brain in the new timeline.
Yeah.
Genisys is like Skynet instead, and it's an operating system. And to be honest with you, it took the storyline straight out of Chuck season 2.
I'd never seen Chuck.
Well,
so
you should. No. And it was just the story got off the rails when John Connor was a robot.
Yeah.
So when Matt Smith touches his face in the beginning, when you see when Kyle Reese is going back, that he turns John Connor into a robot, which I didn't see the point to.
Yeah, especially seeing the trailers, you know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and they gave that away. That should have been a bigger reveal.
And then, basically, in the rest of the film, nothing else happens besides, like, a chase on a bridge. A cool bridge chase, but that was it. Like, nothing else happened.
As far as action scenes, it's Terminator, which you would think. It's a lot of slamming into walls and stuff. And I think they kind of, like, ramped back most of the CGI to put it into John Connor's CGI.
Yeah, because all the other, like, sure, you saw, like, a couple, like, Terminators from, like, the future and stuff, and looked fucking shiny and glossy and dumb.
It looked pretty bad. So the whole new plot of the movie kind of
Dumb.
Yeah, John Connor. The robot John Connor gets sent back to the inception of this Genisys operating system, which it's like, oh man, my tablet's gonna link to my phone, gonna link to my computer. Man, I'm like, that happened. That didn't take. It happened 3 years ago. That's not nothing big.
Pretty much.
That was new when they were writing this script. And I want to say writing this script because it was like they didn't say, oh, let's do a Terminator movie because we have this great script. It's like we need to reboot Terminator. Let's write a script for it. They didn't do the movie for the right reason. And it's this operating system that's gonna, it's Skynet, it's gonna infect everything. And the whole plot is that now John Connor, infected with Skynet, is gonna protect it. So like no matter what happens, Skynet always wins. You can't stop Judgment Day. So they took that straight out of 3.
Yeah.
Like you can't stop Judgment Day. So naturally Kyle Reese and Emilia Clarke, Sarah Connor. I call her Emilia Clarke because she's not Sarah Connor.
We went through this. Well, they went through this.
Yes. So I don't believe she was a good Sarah Connor. She wasn't tough enough. But they obviously they go through the motions to try to stop it. Guess what? Arnold's character's obsolete. He gets thrown around. He finds a way to kill him.
Yeah, which is just basically using a time travel machine, which he has.
Yeah. They built the time travel machine in 1984 because everything kind of reached. Like, you look at it, you're like, sure, that's passable, but if I thought about it more than once, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You have to take everything for face value in this movie, and if you think too much into it, you're going to have a bad time. You're going to be like, well, that doesn't make sense. Well, no, that doesn't happen. Why is that happening? Like, I wanted this movie to be so good, and the first act was fantastic. Go see it for 40 minutes and then walk out.
Yeah, somehow get your money back if you can.
Yeah.
As soon as the new T-1000 dies, then you can get your money and go.
Yeah, and the big culmination was this fight at the time displacement.
Yeah.
Because at this point in time, the only thing that works is this magnetic field generator. And guess what? That's the only thing that could stop the new John Connor Terminator. And then you see, like, it's the scene where Arnold's going to sacrifice himself to save everybody. Like, it isn't
And he does.
And he does, but he gets, like, shot out of the time displacement device.
And falls into liquid metal.
Into a puddle of T-1000s, basically. And you could kind of see there was, like, just some...
I didn't want it to happen.
There was one small, like, line of exposition where they're walking past it, and it's like, oh, liquid metal needs a CPU to be programmed. And then he goes in it. So when you think he's dead, and Kyle Reese and Sarah Connor they obviously have to run away from an explosion because that's the only thing that kills Terminators is big-ass explosions. So there's a convenient bunker underneath the time machine. So they go and hide in it, and they're like, oh, they survived the explosion. Oh, we're trapped in here. Guess what?
Arnie's the T-1000.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's character, the T-100, gets the liquid T-800. Sorry, I'm upset.
I'm super upset.
You see a liquid metal arm come through the door, and then like a big violence thing happens. Like you think the T-1000's coming back, but he's been dead the whole movie. They upgraded Arnold Schwarzenegger with the T-1000's metal.
Dumb.
Oh my God! You just took my childhood out of my body, sat it down, and shit on it.
Indiana Jones all over again.
Yeah, they gotta stop. I'm so the ending ruined.
Anyway, last of the big ending, Kyle Reese goes to his younger self, tells him, "Hey, do yourself a favor. Tell yourself in a mirror by yourself. Genisys is bad. That way, I do this later in another timeline, perhaps." And then they're like, "Well, the day is saved. Now we're in the future, in the past. Now we're stuck here with T-1000 Arnie. Well." Let's go make another John Connor and head home.
Like I said, there's parts of this movie that are great, which I liked. A lot of the throwbacks to the 70s Arnold. A lot of the throwbacks. J.K. Simmons' character in the movie, I think he's worth the price of admission because J.K. Simmons is fantastic in anything he does. There's this one scene where he's in a hospital and he looks at the security room, it's all destroyed, and he's like, "Goddamn time traveling robots covering their tracks." He's hilarious. There's really, when the highs are high, they're great. But the lows, really, really low. So, what did you take out of the movie?
I took it as, if we're giving this a grading number, I'm giving this a 1.
Oof.
definitely 1. This is worse than 3 in Salvation for me.
I don't think it was worse than 3. I thought it was better than Salvation. On a quick second thought, Salvation was just a little bit better.
Bullshit.
But I give this 5 greedy Hollywood executives out of 10.
Very.
That's exactly why this movie was made. Please stop. God damn it.
You know they're gonna.
They're not gonna. I spend my money on it, so I'm part of the problem.
Exactly. Good job.
So if you don't want to be part of the problem, thanks for watching. If you want to go see it after that, I don't, why? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, favorite, subscribe, and save your money. Go see Ant-Man or something.
Maybe that's good.
Probably.
Hopefully.
This just in. Billionaire tech mogul and creator of Genisys, John Connor, turns out to be a homicidal robot from the future, hell-bent on destroying all of mankind. Tonight at 11.